farewell to an entertainment legend. Des O'Connor died at the age of 88.
News with Lucrezia Millarini.
The country's best-known stars on stage and as host of TV shows spanning decades, Des O'Connor was a household name. He died yesterday after a fall at home just over a week ago. He was 88. As Geraint Vincent reports, he will be remembered as one of the great entertainers. And tributes are also being paid to former England, Liverpool and Tottenham goalkeeper Ray Clemence, who has died at the age of 72. He won 5 league titles and 3 European. President Trump, for a moment today, appeared to concede that he had lost the election before quickly correcting himself and saying he hadn't conceded. Well, it comes as Washington is left taking stock after a night of disruption on the streets, as our correspondent Robert Moore witnessed. One of the scientists behind the potential coronavirus vaccine predicted today we could have a normal winter next year if everything goes well and if enough people have the jab. Martha Fairley has more. The Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall have become the first British royals to mark Germany's National Day of Mourning. They paid their respects to the nation's war dead. Our royal editor, Chris Shipp, has this report. And finally to Formula One, and Lewis Hamilton has raced into the history books, again winning his 7th world title to equal Michael Schumacher's record. Here's Chris Scudder. And that's it. I'm back at 10:40. Bye-bye. The Prime Minister self-isolates after coming into contact with an MP who tested positive for COVID.
With Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The Prime Minister is self-isolating tonight after coming into contact with a Conservative MP who has tested positive for coronavirus. Boris Johnson is said to be well and doesn't have any symptoms. He will quarantine and continue to work in Downing Street. His isolation coincides with the planned relaunch of the government and just days after 2 close aides left Number 10 following a bitter power struggle. Our political correspondent Paul Brand has the latest. Well, Paul, this is a big blow for Boris Johnson and the government.
5 minutes with the MP Lee Anderson, who has got COVID-19. He set his premiership. Now we don't even know if he can make it to Prime Minister's questions.
Paul, thank you. Next, the entertainment industry is mourning the loss of one of its greatest tonight. Singer, comedian and host on primetime TV for more than 45 years, Des O'Connor has died. The 88-year-old had suffered a fall at home more than a week ago and died yesterday. Geraint Vincent looks back on his amazing career. And tributes are being paid to former England, Liverpool and Tottenham goalkeeping great Ray Clemence, who's died at the age of 72. The Prince of Wales has made an historic address in Berlin, where he and the Duchess of Cornwall today became the first British royals to commemorate that country's war dead on the German National Day of Mourning. Prince Charles said our countries will remain indispensable allies despite Brexit, as our royal editor Chris Shipp reports. On to sports. An American, Dustin Johnson, has won the Golf Masters, the world. And finally tonight, Lewis Hamilton cried tears of joy after he crossed the finish line, having raced into history again when he clinched his 7th world title, equalling Michael Schumacher. Speaking after his win, he said he dreamed of the moment since he was a kid. Here's Chris Scudder. Oh, the greatest indeed. And all 4 home nations have been in action in the Nations League. The highlights followed this programme, but from me and all the team here, good night.